Dear students, very good morning all. Myself Purnachandra Reddy, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, as well as Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. As for you, I am going to handle the subject called Object-Oriented Programming in C++. So before going in detail about this subject, first let me know what is the importance of this subject. The importance, because as a computer science students, first of all we should aware the importance of this subject, because it is one of the programming language which we are going to face in further going upcoming years also. If you don't have any basic language, either maybe C or C++, so it will be difficult to survive. So it gives a more importance other than subjects. So object oriented programming language, so for this you people better to refer a Balaguruswamy book. It will be the best one and gives a lot of examples. Not only this, please try to refer. So many web sources are available for you, so try to refer that web sources, because writing one programming, and don't stop there itself, try to practice more and more programming so that it will improve your programming skills. Either you go any technical interviews or you go any interviews we are going to face in your final year or third year campus interviews, so they will give more stress on these programming languages. So if you people don't have any basic knowledge about this programming language, so it is a bit difficult to survive. So I request all the students, please be concentrate on the programming languages more. So this is my request which I am giving from my side, right? So now first, before going to enter into object oriented in programming in C++ subject, first we should know about the C language, because the C++ is an extension of your C programming. So if you don't aware of C programming, it will be difficult to go for C++. You can understand, there is no issue in that, but as you need to be a programmer or as you need to be an expert in C++ programming language, first you need to know the basics of C programming language. So as you know, the C programming is one of the procedural oriented language. So that is the first what we need to go for, basics of C, then only we move to further C++. So I already told. So C is a type of a programming language as a procedural oriented language. What is the meaning of procedural oriented language? What do you mean by procedure? So as you know, C is invented by whom? It's Dennis Ritchie, who has invented your C programming language. So he suggested, or he has given some syntax for writing any programming language. In the same fashion, whenever you want to write any program in C programming language, so that you need to follow a procedure. So what do you mean by procedure? 1 second is coming. Or I can say C programming is a functional based programming language. So what do you mean by functional based programming language, or a standard programming language, or I can say procedure oriented programming language. So you want to perform any particular task, or you want to just write a program, either it may be a sum of two numbers, or you want to write any programming like a Fibonacci series of numbers, or you want to go for recursive programming. So you need to follow some procedure, because as you know, before programs we had algorithms. So these algorithms are a step-by-step process how we are implementing a particular task. The same fashion, whenever you want to write a program, that program should consisting of one particular procedure. We need to follow the procedure. What is the following procedure? When you need to execute any C programming, first you need to follow some syntactical rules, how we had it. So in the same fashion, we need to follow some syntactical rules. Clear? And you see, when you go for C++ language, there are a lot of variations coming compared with your C language. A lot of the variations is nothing but some additional things what we had it, which is not available in C, but it is available in C++ language. That's why, because why I'm saying C++ is an extension of C language is some of the additional features as added in C++ language. So what is the additional features we had? We can go in detail about it. But before that, just first I will give some comparisons. While I'll give the comparisons, then we'll see some similarities between two languages, as well as we can see comparisons also. So first, as a comparison point of view, we'll go. So what the comparison is, first, number one, C programming language is a procedural based language, as we need to follow some procedure to write any programming language. And coming to my first at the C, and here at the left hand side you call this is my C, and you take right hand side, this is my C++. And coming to my C++, it may be a procedural, but it is having an over advantage is it is an object oriented programming language. What is object oriented? We can see later in detail about it, because we need to go completely what is object and what is a class, and everything we'll see, but later we'll focus on object oriented programming language. But try to learn some differentiation, because if you know differentiation, automatically you can go in detail about this, right? Coming into my second, C language, when you want to write any programming language, as you know, the basic things is required is compulsory, we need some variables, we need some keywords, we need some functions, we need some operators, like this we have it. But as a common point of view, if you take a common C and C++, as a keyword is going to maintain, the C is going to maintain totally 32 keywords. But as an extension, C++ in extension, it is going to maintain 52 keywords. Clear? So C is going to maintain how many keywords? 32 keywords. Keyword is nothing but to write a programming language, as we are using syntactically some of the keywords. So in the 32 keywords is supported by C language, and 52 keywords are supported by the C++. Right? And coming to my third, in C language, data, whatever you are representing, plus functions. Function is nothing but a block of code. Just I will show an example also for you. Data plus functions are represented separately. Clear my point? Data and functions are represented separately, whereas in my C++ language, data and functions both are encapsulated at one point. We need to elaborate this point. What is meaning of encapsulation? Why it is separately represented? First, come to my C language point of view. So what I am saying here, data and function both are separately. So separated, data and functions are separated. What? In C language, whereas data and functions are encapsulated in C++. Clear? So what is the meaning of separated? So first, you take one example as a program so that it will be clear what is the meaning of separation. So you take first as a C language, you know already the syntax. When you want to write a program, first you need to represent your header file. So that is include some standard output and input and output. Then we need to represent our main. So later, when we are just declaration of some variables, I'm just making one program. This program is performing sum of two numbers using functions. I want to write in my program what? Sum of two numbers using functions, because here our point is in C language I'm saying data plus functions are separately I'm representing, but how I'm representing separately I need to go it, right? So when you go for sum of the two programs, sum of the two numbers, I need to declare, so totally two variables first is enough for me. So then simply I'm calling one function called sum. What the sum function is calling? So sum a comma b is a parameters where we are using in my function. Then close of this parenthesis. Then separately outside of my main block, my function is separately called by using a formal parameter. So there are two types of parameters as you are aware of, actual parameters as well as the formal parameters. So actual parameters where we are representing inside the main, and formal parameters which we represent outside the main, right? So here I am calling x and y as a separate function block code I am writing. Then I am calling a local variable as a declaration is called integer x, then I am calling z is equal into x plus y, then I am printing the value of z. So what is happening here is, so this sum a comma b, what is this sum a comma b is called as what? Function. And I am separating the function. So I am separating, this is called as a variable declaration, I can call it as a data for representation of my program. So data plus functions I am representing as a subject. But whereas, come to your C++, we are hiding. Encapsulation is nothing but what? Whatever the information is necessary for me, I am going to represent, or I am going to show the data only. What about the remaining data? The remaining data will be hiding, because as a C++ language is providing a secure compared to your C language, it is one of the security feature. So necessary things which is required, only that necessary things will be displayed, remaining will be hidden. So where we are hiding you can see later, because it will go in detail about it. So that hiding or wrapping of the data, wrapping is nothing but we are just closing the data which we want to show, only that limitation we are going to show. Whatever the remaining data, that remaining data we are going to be encapsulate. So encapsulate, I can say as an example for you, when you take a capsule which you are using for medicine, so inside that the bubbles which you are having, we don't want to show to everyone. We are going to be closing the things we call as encapsulation or wrapping of the data. So same way here C++ language is also providing a feature called as encapsulation, and here the data plus functions are going to be encapsulate, and whatever the necessary things is required, only that things I am going to be shown. That is what the future, additional feature is under your C++. Clear? Coming to number 3 or 4, maybe any order, but just I want to be clear. So C doesn't support information ID. Already I just mentioned now. There is no encapsulation we had in the C language, but encapsulation is provided in which language? In C++, right? So coming into next, built-in data types. What is the meaning of built-in data types? What is the meaning of data type? Already you know. Whenever you are representing a data, so the data may be a different type. Data may be a type of integer data. Data may be a type of enumeration data, or data may be a type of floating type data, or data type may be a derived data. There are various data types is available in C language, but all these data types, whatever we had it, they are built-in data types which is supported. Only built-in data types is supported by C language. But in addition to this, what? Along with built-in, the C++ also supports user-defined data types. What do you mean by user-defined? Some of the data types, as I can just define myself. There is built-in data types is already existing, but in addition to these built-in data types, I can define the data types of my own, which we call as a user-defined. Right? So this is one of the additional feature is provided by a C language. And next, coming into, and one of the important feature which is provided by C++ is C doesn't support. So there are, as you already know in C language, we learn a concept called function overloading concept. What is the meaning of function overloading? First we will see, because this point is interlinked with another feature in C++. What is a function overloading? What do you mean by overloading of the function? So suppose if I am declaring a function 1 here, and as you know, inside the function we are going to declare what? The parameters. Function followed by parameters I am declaring. So the function name should be same, but inside the declaration parameters are different. Example, I am declaring here one function called, one second, just I will show with an example. So just declaration of one function is called area, is my function name. So whenever I am performing area is my function, area may be square, area may be a rectangle, area may be triangle. There are different type of areas we can calculate, but name of the function is same. And if I am calling only two parameters, area of x, then I am calling area of x comma y comma z. then I am calling area of x comma y comma z comma h, then I am calling area of x comma x. So there are different type of things I am doing. So what I am doing here, name of the function is same, but what is the vary is occurring, parameters point of view the vary is going to be occurred. So there is overloading of the function, we can call it as. So this is called overloading of my function, and this is supported by the C language. Coming into my C++. In addition to this function overloading, the C++ language is support one more overloading concept which we call as operator overloading is done, or operator overloading is supported by C++ language, whereas this feature is not available in C language. But what is the meaning of operator overloading? So this is, I told, one of the important concept of operator overloading. What is the meaning of operator overloading? You already know what is the operators we had, right? So there are different type of operators for us, maybe addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modular division. We had ampersand. So there are different operators, special operators. We had all these things. So some of the operators can be overloaded. Means, what do you mean by some of the operators is overloaded? Just you take the name of the function is sum, then I am using plus as overloading purpose. So I am operating, or I am operator plus or operator addition is overloaded. So this feature is supported by C++, but whereas this feature is not available in what? The C language. This is one of the very, very important concept. We can add it in C++ language. Hope it's clear. So just I am coming back one second. What is the first point we discussed as a coming to comparison point of view? C is a procedural oriented language, whereas C++ is what? Object oriented language. The second point. What is my second point? I just given with an example. So when I am representing a C language, there are different type of built-in data types is supported by in C, but whereas in C++, in addition to built-in data types, user data types, user-defined data types is also be added in C++. And number 3, so data and functions are separated in C language because, as I mentioned, it is a procedural programming language, but whereas data and functions both are encapsulated in C++ language because, and that encapsulation can be represented in the form of object. I told that will be elaborated later, object point of view. Just as we are, just basic things we are going to learn. So that is what the third additional point. And coming into my fourth, I already told the C language will support, or C language will go for function overloading concept, whereas it doesn't support any operator overloading, but C++ supports function overloading. Along with that, it supports what? Operator overloading also. Clear? Next, coming into next, very important, as you already know it, because whenever you are representing any C programming, so starting, what is the syntax of C programming, as you know? So when I am representing my syntax of C programming, otherwise I will write small C programming so that we can compare with C++ small program, we can get 2 or 3 comparisons there itself, right? So what is that? First, I take a box and I'll write sample C program here, and I will write sample C++ programming here, so that you will get a clarity in this, right? So what is my programming is, I want to print as a first programming in Balaguru Swami book, or first programming, if you start any programming languages, to print a message called hello is my basic programming. Those who doesn't know the programming language concept also, they can able to write the program if they know the syntax of anything, right? So when I want to write the hello program in C language, so how you will start the programming? As you know, every program should start initially with header file, right? So here, first, when you go for C, I am going to represent what? Include stdio.h. You know what is the include stdio.h, which supports what? Standard input and output devices. So include stdio.h is called as what? Standard output, include standard input and output header files. As you go for next, coming to my C++. So when I am representing in C++ language, So the same thing I am going to be done, but just small modification, just 1 second. Yes. So when I go for the C++ language, so the same thing we are going to represent here also I am including, but what I am going to be including is iostream.h. Here also almost same, but what I am calling here, I am calling here standard input outputs, and here I am calling input output streams only. The same we are including. There is no issue. But as a separation, as a syntactical manner, they both are somewhat differ to represent. So include IO stream can be done, right? So after that, so here as coming to my C language, next line is I'm going to represent my void main, and I'm printing a message printf. So just I want to print a message. What is the message I want to print here? Hello message I want to print, and close the parenthesis. This closes my program code in C language. So as coming to my C++, so it is also be somewhat same, but here always the main starts with integer main, because as you know return type, I'll just go through ladder. Then just open the parenthesis. I'm going to print instead of what? Printf, I'm going to use input and output streams. There are input output streams. I'll come to that point also later. So what is the differences you observe between these two programs? So as coming to this, there is a one change. Number one, here I am using stdy.h, here I am using iostream.h. And here, one additional thing you had in the C++ is, after my header file, I am going to use some namespace. Using namespace I need to mention. But what is the purpose of this using namespace? Because when you are representing or names in my programming, sometimes there may be collision in the names. To avoid that particular collisions, here I am going to use using namespace. In C++ it allows, but whereas in C language there is no namespace I am going to be added. So I can say it is one of my additional feature which I am using in my C++ language. Clear? Hope so. Then later, here I am going to use void main. As you know, void means nothing. The meaning of void is nothing. So it doesn't return any value. Void means doesn't return any value. But whereas always here it is going to be written what type of value? Some data type. Return type should be always some data type. Either it may be integer, or it may be a float, or it may be any type of thing. But return is applicable in my C++ language. Hope so it is clear. Next, coming into next point. Here in my C language, we are using various types of input and output streams. There are two types of streams we have. I can say they are functions. So input and output functions. One is called printf and other one is called scanf. What is the printf means and what is the scanf? Hope you already know it because you learned in C language. What is my printf and what is my scanf? So printf is a type of a function called as output function, whereas my scanf is called as what? Input function. So if you want to read any data using your keyboard, there I'm going to use a function called scanf. So scanf is a type of a function, and I'm calling the type of function is called input function. And next I'm going to use one more function called printf. These are called input and output. These two functions, printf and scanf, two functions I'm including in my programming. So to include that, I need to add some header file. What is that header file is called? Standard input and output. So in the same fashion, coming to my C++ language, here also I'm using two input and output functions. So one is called cout, one is called cin. So how it is used in C++, how you using in C language, in the same fashion, for one function is used to read the data from the keyboard, and one function is used to display the data on your monitor, like input and output functions. But here, which is input and which is output, we should know. As I told just now, as a printf is output function. Same as my printf in C++ language, I'm using an output function called as what? Cout. So cout is my output function, And same as scanf, to read some data from the keyboard, as I'm using a scanf, to read the data through keyboard, I'm using a function called cin in my C++ language. So totally how many observations you have done when I take in sample program is, as one point is header files is somewhat changed. Here one of the additional feature is added. What is additional feature? Using namespace will be added here. Why I am using namespace is, I told already, it avoids collision between names. To make collision between names, to avoid its purpose, I am using what? Using namespace. And next is, in C language, the return type may be any type, but defaultly the return type we are using is what? Void. But in C++ language, as we know, always we need to give return value as void also we can use, there is no issue in that, but maximum we try to return the value of integer type, but rather than integer also we can use, there is no problem. So that is not, I can say, is a comparison, it is a common thing which we have observed. And later, here I just made it, I am using here output function as a printf, here I am using my output function as what? Cout. So this is what? The one comparison, or I just made it some of the comparisons when you take the C and C++. Hope it is clear to you, right? Next, coming into mine. So, as in C language, I told it just previously, the variables. What is the meaning of variable? Before going to write a program, I need to take some data through using a keyboard. For taking the data, I need the help of variables help, I need it. But what is a variables I had? Variable is nothing but name of, or after the data type what you mentioned. Example, I will check integer A, integer B, integer C. These are the three what? These are the three variables. Always they are not maintaining a same value. They are varying its value. So that's why the name itself we call as a variable. Variable is nothing but always variable values should be, or always the values which is varying is called as what? The variable. So this variable is common for in C and C++ language, but one additional feature is supported by C++ is reference variable. As you know, what is the meaning of reference? Reference is coming in the point of the pointers. So don't go for in-depth about the pointers. Once again, already you know what is a pointer. Pointer is used to represent the address of another variable. So here in my C language, the reference variable concept, as a concept is coming, I will go in detailed explanation about. One second. Reference variable concept is not supported in C language, but whereas in my C++ language, reference variable concept is applicable or applied or used in my C language. This is what one of the additional feature which I can identify when compared to my C language. Clear? And rather than this, I already told about the keywords. Yeah, exactly. About the keyword also I mentioned. So how many keywords is maintained in the C language? So C language will maintain totally 32 keywords, but whereas in my C++ it supports how many keywords? 52. So 20 additional keywords is going to be supported by the C++ language. And one more important thing here is there are one additional concept. What is additional concept is, if I want to go for that additional concept, first I need to give an example program. Roughly I will give, not an example completely I can give. So if I write any particular programming using, I just take a main I open, then I declare some variables, integer a comma b comma c, then I am using some functions and close, then I am writing some function s1 here, then I am going to access, right? So what is this a comma b comma c is? A comma b comma c is called as what? A variables. A comma b comma c is called as a variables. But when we are declaring these variables, these declaration of variables can be done in C++ language using different type of access specifiers. What is access specifier means? Suppose if I declared a comma b comma c as a variable of, there are different type of access. First I will come types of access specifiers. So there are different type of access specifiers. As I go for private access specifiers was number one, and next I can go for a public. Next I can go for protected. Next I can go for friend. Clear? So there are different access specifiers. So whatever the variables, if you declare as a private, so in front of your variables, integer a comma b comma c, and you put access specifiers before it, which means that this access specifier is limited to that function only. No one can access that particular variables and that accessing of variables will be done only inside that function, not outside the function. But if I want to declare, I want to use outside of accessing of the variables, then I can change my access specifier as what? Public. Public means there is no limitation that only these variables can be accessed by this function. So anyone can access, maybe inside the function, maybe outside the function. It is applicable to anyone. So public. So in the same fashion, protected. Protected is also some using some limitations and using some conditions. Then we need to use a protected. Means it is used inside that particular function, as well as it can be accessed by some of the classes which we call as a static classes, as we can see later the concept here. So that can be accessed as a protected. But I was coming into my friend. What is a friend access specifier? So if you want to access the particular variables, we need to take the help of friend class. Means this access specifiers mechanism, whatever I just give an example to you, this access specifier mechanism is not applicable in C language, but it is one of the additional feature because it can be accessed by anyone in the C. But whereas in the C++, if you want to access, there are specific limitations we going to maintain. So that additional feature is built in my C language. And coming to next point, I told in when starting my class why I go for C++ language. I told C++ is having some additional add-on features as compared to my C language. I told there are different add-on features we had it. So there are three very important add-on features we had it. So first I will come across, which is already known to you. What is the additional aspect I had it? So C does not support what feature? C does not support encapsulation, but it can be supported by C++. I told what is encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing but wrapping of data or hiding of the data, only showing the necessary fields which we require. Only that fields we are going to show, and the remaining fields will be hidden. That feature is one of the additional feature which we had in the C++, but it is not supported with your C language. In addition to this encapsulation, we had one more important feature is called inheritance. So what is the inheritance? We'll see just now. After going for third, we'll just discuss in detail about the inheritance. So this is what not supported by C language, but this is once again applicable in my C++. So encapsulation is the first one. Second one is what? Inheritance. And third one is called polymorphism. Polymorphism. These are the three very important add-on features supported by your which language? I'm saying C++. Now come to in detail. What is this? What is the encapsulation? I hope it's clear to you. Encapsulation is nothing but what? The hiding the data or wrapping the data, and which we require only that fields we are showing, remaining we are going to hide it. Coming into my second feature, what is the inheritance? So inheritance in generally as an example you will take before going in detail about the inheritance. As you are a son and you are inheriting some features from your father or mother. Your father and mother is inheriting some features from your grandmother and grandfather. So some of the features which are common, you are taking from your higher hierarchy, and that acquiring that properties or acquiring that features from your higher hierarchy, that we call is what? Inheritance. Clear my point? Shall we go for one more example? Yeah. So suppose you have done some mistake, or suppose you had done some mistake at home, and immediately your mother or father will scold you. What do you mean it? You are already having some of the features which is taking from your father and doing the same mistake which you have done by your father. So which is I am doing is what? The properties already existing with higher hierarchy, the same features I am acquiring there. So which we call as what? Inheriting the same features which is already existing by your hierarchy. The same concept here we are applying in C++ language. What do you mean it here is? So suppose in C language we had a concept called as what? Class. What is a class? Once again the point is coming. As actually I need to explain this concept when my object oriented concept should start, but when I want to go for this inheritance concept, I need to be clear about what is a class. What is a class is? Class is a collection of two things. Class is a collection of data plus function. Just now I told to you. In C language, data and functions are represented separately, but whereas in my C++, data and functions are encapsulated, and that encapsulation can be done with the help of whom? The class. So class is what? Class is a collection of data plus functions. So when the class A or some class A is defining some data and functions to you, then below I am declaring one more class. So class B I am taking, and class B is also containing what? Some data plus functions. Here the class A, whatever I defined as a first, I am calling this class as superclass, or I can call this as parent class. What I am calling is a parent class. And the class B, which I am going to use inheriting. Who is inheriting here? The class B is inheriting some features from the class A. But how do we need to represent? We need to represent by using a special operator called as a colon followed by my superclass name. What is my superclass is called as what here? A. So what you made here is the A is my superclass. From class A, I am acquiring some properties. Who is acquiring here? The class B. Now what is class B is known as? Class B is called subclass, or it may be called child class. So the class B is acquiring or inheriting the properties of the class A. This acquiring or inheriting the properties is known as inheritance. This feature is not available with your C language. The functions you are representing in C language will be done independently. There is no acquiration, there is no hierarchy order we are going to be followed, but it is having an additional property called as inheritance. Coming into my third property. What is my third property? I told to you, polymorphism. What is the meaning of poly? Poly is nothing but what? Many. Morphism means forms. Many forms. So as previously I have given one example as a function overloading. So the same concept here. So one function can be represented in different ways. How? Name of the function will be same, but parameters values is going to be different. So like that, one function can be represented in different ways. That representation is possible with your C++. Many forms. One function can be represented in many forms is possible with the C++, but that feature is not available in my C. So that is called, what I am calling is a polymorphism. And one more concept is added to that one is virtual concept we had it, but just let me know that concept afterwards. In detail I'll give afterwards, because as we are entering into the in detail about this particular concept, I'll just come across the virtual functions and how it supports to C++ language we can see later. But up to now, these three are the additional features we had in the C++ language. Once again I'm repeating this because as a starting to ending we need to go for clearly encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism, and one more is also be there, binding. Dynamic binding is one of the additional feature we had it, but later I will go because these three are the main important features as I go for comparison with your C++ language. Clear? So next, not only this, so where we are focusing on the C, right? We need to focus mainly as I told, I'll come back. So as I just given, the first point is C supports or C represents procedural oriented language. So because of this procedural oriented language, C is going to be mainly focusing on methods or process, because every method is important for us, every procedure is important for us in C. But whereas in C++ language, we are not focusing more on methods. We are focusing on whatever the data I represented for that, because data is very important. Using the data, because the data is not only used by that class, and data can be used by its subclass also, maybe its superclass also, maybe some child class of it. No number of classes can be accessed. So the C++ is mainly focusing on data instead of methods, whereas in the C it supports only, or it's focusing on only what? Methods instead of my data, because the methods will acquire the data. Right now, when you are in C language, it is also very very important point. In coming to my C language, when you define a variable, the example, I'll just go through an example here. When I'm declaring a variable called integer A and integer B, when you declare these variables and you completed your program, then you executed your program, what about this variable? Where this variable value? So you supplied, and output of the program will be enter the value of A and B. They will give. They will ask as a scanf statement. So what you are doing? A value you are giving 10 and B value you are giving 20. But where the values are stored, who is going to allocate the memory for this? So when A I declared, there is a separate memory block for the A will be allocated here. And what is the value of A here? 10. And what is the address of that A? Maybe 10,024. When I am giving the B values of 20, a separate memory block will be allocated and the value will be supplied as a 20. And what is the address of it? 1026. Why I am giving 24 and 26 is integer occupies how many bytes? As you know already 2 bytes. So just I am going to take the 2 bytes of occupation. So 1026 I am going to be taking as what? For B language. So for B variable. Now, who is going to allocate this memory? So there are in C language, it supports the allocation of the memory to the variables can be done using 2 functions. So one function is called malloc and one function is called calloc. So these are the functions which we are going to use to allocate the memory to the variables inside your programming. Clear? But whereas in C++ language, you are going to use a separate operators for creation of memory for a variable. Instead of malloc and calloc, you are going to use an operator called new operator. New, it is a very very important. When you take your competitive exams also, this object bit you can identify in your paper. So operator, that which operator is used to allocate the memory for C++ programming language. So allocation can be done which operator? New operator. And once the memory is allocated, what you want to do? You want, once the programming usage is over, you want to deallocate the memory, or you want to remove the allocation of the memory which is giving to your programming language variables. So when you take your C language, that can be done using a function called free. Free is the function is used to deallocate the memory which is given to your variables in my C. Same fashion, here I am going to use an operator called delete. There I am using malloc and calloc, 2 functions. There are 2 separate functions. Why? You already know in the C language, no need to go for elaboration that one. And once the memory is allocated, you want to go what? You want to go for free the memory which is allocated to that variable. That free allocation can be done using a variable called as what? Free in my C programming language. But whereas in my C++ language, that can be done using an operator called as what? Delete operator. So C++ supports new and delete operators for allocation and as well as deallocation of the memory. It can be handled, right? And one more thing. So whenever you executed a program, suppose during the execution, any error you identified or any drop, or you can take as a bug, or I can say error is raised in my program. So how you identify, how to rectify that? You need to go line by line. You need to check where is my error. You need to identify line number.